right, we are going to finish this forge today. So what we're going to be working on is installing the burner. What we got to do now is get our coupler, get it drilled out, and we will have to die grind it out to get the burner tube down through there. Let's get started. I'll meet you in the workshop. Okay, the first thing we need to do is center punch this. Okay, we need to drill a pilot hole through here. Okay, we've got a 5/16 bolt here. What we're going to try to do is just drill this hole out oversized. We'll weld this nut on here so that we can thread this in here to keep the burner tube from sliding up and down. Okay, we got a 3/8 bit. We've got our 3/8 hole. You can see that 5/16 bolt goes right down in there. What we want to do is weld this on there, but before we do, we need to grind this rib down so that this nut sits flat on there. Okay, now we have a nice flat surface to place our nut on. That'll make it easy to weld. All right, we've got that ground down. Now it slides right through there. We're gonna weld the nut in place. We'll weld this in place, and then we can get started on everything else. You'll see I've got some gap around this. That was on purpose. That's so I can get a nice root weld down in there and get some good penetration. Let's go ahead and weld this coupler out. Let's get our burner set up here. So we're going to bring this through the inside, and then we're going to use what's called a frosty tee. We're going to put this on the top. Okay, the purpose of this is going to be to set the height of our burner in there, just in case we have a bigger workpiece. We've got about 1.5 inches to play with or so. So we'll go ahead and we'll set this in place at the highest setting. We're just going to tighten this up. Okay. So now that we have this tight, we don't want to have a wrench there. So we're just going to make a handle for this, because we know that when this is touching, it's going to be tight. We're going to go ahead and weld this in place in the tight position. Now when I loosen this, like that, that'll come up and down. And now I know I can tighten it up and it'll stay in place. Can even use it one-handed. We're just going to heat up the material a little bit before we start painting. Okay, we've got our regulator connected to our gas bottle. We're going to put our burner get it threaded into place. Okay, we'll start with the burner on the highest setting just to see what it'll do. Okay, now I have never fired this up. So this is the first time. We are gonna cross our fingers that it works. I've built a lot of stuff in my life, but I've never built a forge. Let's give it a try. Okay, gas is on. Gonna put the gloves on. We're gonna turn this valve on. We're just gonna crack it open. There she goes. She's running. Just for the heck of it, we're gonna put this piece of rebar in there. We're gonna have to bring this down. Yeah, we've got it on the lower setting now. Now you can somewhat see that flame. I can see that I need to do some modification to this. The amount of flame that's coming out of there is not nearly enough. But that's why we test things out. Like I said, I've never built a forge before. Might have to play with putting some fire brick in the back, maybe some fire brick in the front. Maybe the burner needs to come down a little bit. Okay, we're back to the drawing board here. We went ahead and got a different valve, and we're just gonna get that thing plumbed in here. We're using Blue Monster PTFE thread tape. So let's go ahead and put the valve together. We'll go ahead and put him in the vise. The hose end attached. Okay, that end's done. Okay, we've got the actual burner valve here now. Get that checked up in the vise. Now we're just going to put the other end of the hose into the fitting. Okay, it's pretty convoluted, but that's what the hardware store had, so I had to reduce it and reduce it and reduce it. So there's that end. Okay, now we've got a high pressure regulator. Let's go put this together on the forge and see what happens. Okay, we made our new connection at the tank with the new regulator. And we're connected here at the top on the valve. Let's see how we go here. Heck yeah, that's what we're looking for right there. Okay, we've got our workpiece in there. We'll see if we can do anything with it. Okay, we've got her running good now. Got my pressure dialed in. And we're just gonna go ahead and bend this piece of rebar just to illustrate that it does work. Okay, here we go. Nice and hot. Perfect. Maybe a little bit more. Put her back in the forge. All right, guys, I'm excited about that. I look forward to bringing you more content with this forge, and hopefully me and my son can make some cool stuff out of it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.